I'm hanging out with the Tony Mazza project here. This is really cool. How long have you guys known each other?
And me and Joe, since we were 12, I think.
Wow.
13 we graduated.
14, yeah, 13 years.
Wow.
So a long time ago.
Yeah, it's almost
50 years.
50 years.
And how long have you known Tony Mazza?
He would say too long.
A little over 30 maybe?
Yeah.
A little over 30 years. And we've probably been playing together for over 25.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and we haven't killed each other.
Yeah.
Joe, how would you describe your sound, your music?
Overall or individual? The band?
Either way, both?
The band is, I don't know, we all have so many different influences, you know. A lot of them in common and some of them not in common. Way back when, you know, back when we were early 20s, Jerry was really into Alice Cooper and I really couldn't stand him. You know, so I never really kind of got where he was coming from as far as listening to that kind of music. And now Alice is absolutely one of my favorite performers in the world. You know, and now it's taken me this long to see what he sees. And now Jerry hates him. Yeah.
I don't hate him. He's good in the mix.
That's awesome. Jerry, who's your favorite drummer? Right offhand, please.
Ainsley Dunbar.
Who's this?
I want to call him a session drummer,
Played
but
with
he's a
Zappa.
field drummer.
Played with
He
Zappa.
played with Zappa, he played with Bowie, he played
Journey.
the original Journey when they first got together.
What's his name?
Ainsley Dunbar.
Excellent.
You're welcome.
Hey, Tony, can you tell me who really influenced you to start playing guitar, or who's helped you endure and continue playing guitar?
Well, I mean, when I first started out, I was, of course, in love with Led Zeppelin. Figured out the first 2 albums, and then I taught a friend of mine who actually made the guitar, Rob Angle. Went on to become a Luther, but before then, I taught him for about 2 years, and then he turned over. And he taught me, and he was my mentor for many, many years after that, and still today.
Excellent. Do you have a favorite Led Zeppelin song?
Me have a favorite Zeppelin song? It's really pretty hard to.
They change all the time.
Yeah, I would say probably because I've seen the video from Celebration Day, Kashmir. It's just astonishing.
Right on.
Absolutely
Excellent.
astonishing.
Great choice. Tony, can you tell me a little bit about your guitar that you've got here? Can't help but notice it.
This is an amazing guitar. Its body is made from almost 200-year-old Southern Yellow Pine.
Wow.
And yeah, it was taken from a tea factory in Brooklyn, New York. That was, I think, built in 1890 something. And they converted it to apartments. And my friend and luthier, Rob Angle, was invited down to look at the wood when they were building an elevator shaft for the apartments, and the 30-foot lengths of these were coming out. And he hand-picked them and makes guitars out of them. These things are sweet. They sing. They sound anywhere. It's got a 5-way switch. I can sound like a Telecaster, Stratocaster, a Les Paul. 3 guitars, at least 3 guitars in one. This guitar gets 15 different tones. Great guitar for people who don't know what guitar they want to buy.
Excellent.
It covers all the bases.
Can I see the back of it? Can you kind of give her a
Yeah,
flip
the
there?
back on this one is butternut.
That's
You
awesome.
see a tight grain on the sides. Oh, and by the way, it goes to 11. Because these are boutique pickups. And when anywhere from 9 to 10, they override the preamp on the amp. So they go to 11 just to remind you to back off unless you really want to get that heavy distorted sound.
Wonderful. Robert Johnson, what does that name mean to you?
I love Robert Johnson.
If you could describe that name by anything organic or geometric or
Oh my God.
his music.
It's in the raw
Raw.
state of music there is. Just a man and his guitar, and everything inside just comes out through that guitar. He is the godfather of music. He started the whole blues, as far as I'm concerned, anyway.
As James Taylor is the godfather of the soul, Robert Johnson is the godfather of the blues.
You mean James Brown?
James Brown.
Yeah,
What did I
yeah,
say?
James Taylor.
I know.
Yeah, he probably made the difference.
James Brown is the godfather of soul, and Robert Johnson is definitely the godfather.
James Taylor might be somebody's godfather.
Yeah, I'm sure he's several people's godfather. Joe,
Yes, sir.
what's on your T-shirt there?
This is something I found
Lunch.
There is breakfast.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's the mask from V for Vendetta.
Okay.
And it says something different. It's divided and stained, which I thought was
We the people?
Pardon?
We the people there?
Kind of what it is.
Yeah, I think that's what it take off on, but I guess it's open to interpretation.
So, can you tell me what your favorite TMP song is? Do you guys all have a separate favorite, or?
I don't know if we've ever discussed it.
I don't think it is.
For me, it would have to be, I got two equal favorites, Ego and Greed, and I can't even think of the name of it,
That's something else.
that's me. Jesus called me Colette.
Right on.
Yeah,
Excellent. Excellent.
Ego and Greed for me. Always such
a deep song without being overly complicated. It's very simple, but the meaning and the way it's the emotion that comes out of that song when we play it, always gets to me. And the thing is, telling when we get together and play, we seem to play it every time we do get together. And the beauty of it is always different. That's one of those songs that's open to interpretation. And that's one thing that's beautiful about our music, I think.
Here's something that you guys don't know about that song. That song I wrote was actually at one point late at night a screaming prayer.
I can see that.
So like I didn't know about the 3 scratches from the lady in my apartment.
My wife knows about it, so that's okay. She bandaged me up when I got home.
Wow.
Actually, I'm surprised she didn't say where'd you get them from.
Oh, I said Joe, and she said I knew.
At least they weren't on your back.
Joe or Jerry, can you tell me when you realized that you were a musician and you had to be a musician?
When I decided I wanted to play, or when I actually realized I could play?
The latter.
The latter.
Or not so much the playing aspect, but when you realized, like for instance, it was in your blood and that you had to be a musician.
Yeah, I was probably, again, 13 years old. And I used to sit on the couch and I put these coffee cans together with the plastic tops. I used to make bongos out of them, just for the hell of it. Just for that. It was always music. My house was always music from morning to whatever. And I was, sitting there doing this all the time. And I couldn't afford drums, so I made some coffee cans and I started banging it and it sounded good. And there was somebody by my house that said, "Hey, I think you'd make a really good drummer." And I said, "Okay." And my mom bought me a little Sears cardboard set of drums. I put it in, we had a closet, like a big enough closet. I put it in there, threw a blanket over it so I wouldn't bother with it. And I'd go in there, turn right on, and play the drums in the closet, put a blanket over it.
Excellent. When did you get your first drum set?
My real one, I still have it. That's when I play it. Me and Joe picked it up, I think we were 17.
You had the Mustang. You had the Mustang. So
Mustang. So
yeah, so it was 18 or 19, I think, from Mascaras.
Actually, no. Because my mom actually had a sign.
No, 17. I was still playing. You were using my kit, I think, at the time. Remember, we had the dual. We put the 2 crappy kits together and we did them over with that material.
Oh yeah.
Remember, we did that silky-like material. We did it over. It was supposed to be like psychedelic.
Yeah. Tony, when did you first realize that you had to be a musician?
I'm hoping it's going to hit me by next week. Actually, I guess the same thing. I started playing when I was 12, and by the time I was 13, of course, I wanted to be a rock star. By the time I was in 20, I still wanted to be a rock star. Now I just want to learn how to play. Never, always in competition with myself to be a little bit better than I was yesterday. Doesn't always work out. But it's the love of music. I can't keep away. I've tried to put it down quite a few times. I always wind up going back to it. So, I mean, it's a painful thing to be a musician. And when you're trying to do that 100%, it's more than painful. It's you go hungry. Hey, it's just something that you're driven to do. You know, why do you do it? I don't know. It's something from inside that just tells me I have to keep doing it.
Actually, yeah.
Joe, tell me about you. How,
Painful.
when did you first realize?
Gee, I don't know. I guess most of my first dealings with music were like my dad used to love classical music, and a lot of times on Sunday morning, not every Sunday morning, but when he was feeling kind of good, and I guess he was laid back, he'd throw on Tchaikovsky or Mussorgsky. Not really any of the heavies like Beethoven or anybody like that, but I was just like, wow. I was like, whoa, this is great. And my dad sang choir when he was a kid. His mom, my grandmom, was the organist and pianist in that church. And so, I mean, my mom sang. She was actually quite good. And then, I don't know, it just, gravitated to it. I started the drums originally. I taught myself guitar, taught myself the bass at about 16, and still working on trying to get better at it. We talked about Victor before. And
Victor Wooden?
Yes, and he's still, I hear him, and I still want to go home and burn my guitars. Trust me. But, and then, it's God-given gift. I mean, I can't deny that. And never for a second I even took a try. It's something that he's given me, and I need to share with the world the best of my ability. Being able to share it with makes it that much more rewarding.
Both Joe and I started out as drummers.
Yeah.
We were both drummers as a kid. I mean, me before I think I was 10 years old. I was playing drums for years.
And actually, I started at 10. It was the only thing I really had formal training on.
Wow.
And actually, Jerry and I were in one of the first bands together, and he was one of the lead singers, and I was the drummer.
And now we can't get him to open his friggin' mouth. I mean, he won't sing on the song.
It's true.
Put a mic in his face, and he looks like Mikey.
I did that. That's all. I won't even get into my accordion days.
Ooh, a
I forgot
keyboard.
about that. I was playing accordion.
One last question, TMP. Tony Mazza Project. What would you guys, I know this sounds corny, but what would be your message to any aspiring musician or young musician in this time where music is really going through so many changes?
Just be good. Don't just play music to make money. You have to play, and you have to play what feels good to you. That's what I'd say. Play what you like.
The only time that I really feel it's all been worth it is all those times when it's just pouring out of you, and your heart is just singing, and you get lost in that. It's an incredible high. It's like another dimension, and you're just there. You are the music. It's those little moments that are very infrequent that keeps me coming back, because I know, I'm hoping for another turn in that dimension of being in the music, being the music. When it starts to flow from here, and you're not thinking, you're not singing, you're not doing anything, it's just, actually you are, you're singing in your head, and it's coming through your fingers, is the best.
I would have to concur with that. I think actually to tell somebody nowadays, I mean, I've had the opportunity to do a lot of different open mics and host open mics and meet a lot of young guys. And
It's getting me in them.
And quite honestly, I feel really out of touch with the music scene nowadays outside of what I do with the guys and some of the other projects that I'm involved in. But I think you need to really... musicians today have so many options. I mean, you can sit in your bedroom, you know, with an Apple and record an album. I think it's lost a lot of, if you will, the paying your dues aspect of it. You know, I think it was something that we were always brought up on, was to pay our dues to move forward, and, or with God willing, move forward. But you know, just Tony said, you know, just don't create it out of the goal of money or whatever like that. I know if you make a couple bucks, God bless you. But I mean, this is where it comes from. This is where it starts. This is where it ends, right here. You know, just and practice.
If I could say one other thing, I know we have songs. We have our second album that's about to be released under the Mazza project. Before that, we were waiting for Helen. We were always waiting for our singer Helen.
Yeah.
We were waiting for Helen. Anyway, and although we have structured music, we are at our peak when we jam. When Jerry on the drums and Joe on the bass are so in tune with each other. I mean, they don't look at each other and they can make a left turn and take a swerve at the same time. It's amazing. And I'm in the middle of this, feeling them. And we just start feeling each other, and it just starts to flow, is when we are at our peak. I mean, I don't know if you guys agree with that. We have a lot of structured music, but when we're free-flowing and we're feeling each other, it's amazing. It really is. I don't like to blow our horn. I'm not the kind of guy that plays great, because I'm not. But when three of us get together and put this together, we're in that zone at the same time.
I know. Because I had my head down here playing and hearing what's going on. I heard a couple different things just kind of turn up.
Look at everybody smiles, and I'm like, okay, how do you feel?
Project. I want to say thank you for this little bit of time that I've been able to talk with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for spending the day with us, man. It was probably long overdue. Good.
I started drinking, and then I started thinking, he said I still had some time. Jesus was calling me collect. Jesus called me collect. He said I had to right my wrongs, that I could do it with a song. Don't know if this gets her done, so I consider it step one. Jesus called me collect, said I was living like a wretch. Jesus called me collect, said my whole life was a train wreck. Jesus called me collect, and I don't think it's over yet. Man, I can't wait to see this phone bill. Oops, sorry, Lord.